Toby Turner, also known as Tobuscus, is a YouTuber that has been on the platform for over 15 years, and was once one of the biggest creators on the platform. With over 3 channels with over 1 million subscribers each, it is clear to see he is someone that was loved by the community he had made. Toby started his channel like what most people would do, that was upload random videos with no direction of what to do with his content. But it was known that Toby was a talented musician, and that he wasn't shy to show it online.
Bob, I know your sex appeal has never been that grand, but I can tell that things have worsened since the marching band. 'Cause I can see right through that shotgun blast-sized hole in you. All you wanna do is eat my praise.
Eventually, the algorithm gave him his first 1 million viewed video not long after actually doing YouTube. After the success of the video that had got into the algorithm, he started making his own songs, and gaming videos, and later down the line, animation. Obviously, he didn't make the animation himself, there were just cartoons that someone would make, and then obviously he would voice over them. The type of content he was producing was a lot similar to another creator that goes by the name of Jack Films, and Jack Films did a collab with Tobuscus himself.
How's it going? I'm Toby Turner. I speak very quickly to compensate for my lack of humor, and this is cute.
Can I help you?
Hey buddy, how's it going?
Not your body.
Most likely to them both making their own wacky songs, and that they were just passion projects and they both did it for fun. He also got a collaboration with PewDiePie, and this showed how big he was. Toby's most popular content in the early days came about when he started doing these parody trailers for games and movies, along with his Minecraft song parodies along with other bangers. I mean, you're a complete YouTube OG if you remember Nugget in a Biscuit and Viral Song. Like, these were literally my childhood bangers. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, why am I going over the past videos so quickly compared to the Smosh video where I went into a lot more grave detail about their past? And it has nothing to do with the fact that they weren't an issue along with his downfall, because most of them likely were due to him doing the same thing for many years and not really changing his content much, which, as we all know, obviously an audience would get bored and then move on to another channel, which can make a dead channel. Watching his content today, you'll probably get the same feeling I do, and it just seems to be a man trying to relive the fame he once had in the early days. But I think a question you're all asking at the moment is this: where did it all go wrong?
What is up, Drama Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar. Toby, another one got away. You should have drugged her.
I don't think my channel got murdered by Keemstar. Just, you know, for a long time I was just being...
So many people were mad at this, saying that it should have been handled privately, but like I said, I have been trying to handle this privately for quite some time.
Oh my god, Toby Turner. I don't even know what to say, bro. Like, bro, that's bad. That's really bad.
But for me, that was just a no-go. So it's hard for me to imagine a situation where a girl was saying, no, I don't want you, and him being like, too bad.
I made a video in 2012 talking about my bucket list. And on my bucket list, I said I want to seduce Toby Turner. That was one of the things I wanted to do.
Come forward with really creepy stories about you. And if what they're saying is true, you're kind of fucked up. But Toby, that's probably what makes you a good entertainer, because really good entertainers all seem to be fucked up. I know I am, but not in the rapey stalker thing that you got going on.
So recently, as some of you may know, Keemstar has uploaded a video onto his channel talking about a rape allegation with Tobuscus.
Keemstar's audio got corrupted on the video, so we had to re-export it. I'm so thankful that it is there and intact in its entirety. So thank you, God. Thank you for preserving Keemstar's audio. Thank you, God.
In 2016, a girl that goes by the name of April Eve posted a Tumblr post about Tobuscus titled The Truth About Tobuscus, and in this article she speaks about how Toby was very manipulative and how he cheated on her numerous times with other women and had actually drugged her into doing non-consensual activities. Now this article is very long and goes into grave detail of what she claims to be in the truth about Toby. A lot of the claims are downright incriminating, but it is still unknown to this day if this is 100% true, since the only people that do know the truth is Toby himself and the girl in question. I'm going to have a good friend of mine, Piketastic, to come on and read you the article. I recommend skipping this part of the video if you want to just get into the good stuff, but if you want the full context of what she claims to be her experience, I would recommend listening to this part.
The truth about Tobuscus. Trigger warning: abuse, rape, drugs, pretty much everything terrible. Before I start, I want to say that this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. I understand that I am setting myself up to be attacked in more ways than has already been done to me. People may accuse me of lying and may try any tactic to protect him because they don't know who he truly is. I will have to take the heat for being the first person to openly come out about this, though I am not the only one who has experienced the abuse from him. There are so many of us. I know of some, I'm friends with some, and I'm without a doubt sure that there are some I don't even know about. It's not my place to tell their stories. I can really only tell mine. Throughout the 5 years of knowing him, I have been mentally and physically abused by Toby Turner. I first met Toby when I was working at E3 in 2011. I had flown there from Georgia and he was doing a hosting gig. He added me on Facebook, and as I was returning home, eventually my number. We texted almost daily and FaceTimed with each other. He kept telling me that I should move there and that he needed a female host for his new gaming show. So a month after E3, I had bought a new car and packed my stuff for LA. I didn't know at the time, but that would be the one of many broken promises. Under is a paragraph that seems to be written after a bit of reflection. I was writing way too many details when I realized that I have way too many things to tell that happened in 5 years, so I'll cut out the small stuff. I was being cheated on since day one. He would fluctuate between telling me we weren't together to saying we were. Once I started finding the evidence of other women, he would fluctuate between admitting he was cheating, then to saying he told me he didn't want anything serious. Every time I would try to leave, he would tempt me with saying he was ready to come out about dating me now. He would say he was just worried about what the fans would say to me and all the hate I would get, but he never cared about that. When he started dating Olga, we were still dating. He told me that they weren't real and that it was just for show, for subscribers and views. At the beginning, I actually believed that. Then my gut feeling was going off like crazy and I realized I was just being weak. I stopped seeing him and started seeing someone else. Of course, I kept getting texts that he missed me and that I was the one he wanted. Once I stopped seeing the other guy, we went right back to dating. On and off, just as I now know was coinciding with Olga and his breakups. Or maybe the breakups were lies. Who really knows? I know this makes me look really dumb, but you have to understand how he makes women feel. It felt like a drug. I would try to date other people and I was so stuck and in love with him that no one ever compared. But I notice now how I was being manipulated and forced. He thought it was a game to keep off when I would say no. He would grab me and try to tear my pants off and I would say no and pull them back up. So forcefully they would tear. I still have my pants folded in the drawer that have ripped belt loops and holes in the crotch from him trying to tear his way in. I even headbutted him once because I was starting to see another guy and did not want to be physical with him. But I was so scared of losing him that I would just let him win and have his way with me. He would call me his girlfriend, then if he found out I told someone I was dating him, he would accuse me of trying to ruin his career and insult me. 2013 was when the drugs really started. I'm not going to get into too much detail with that, but this was when the abuse started getting very violent. By this time I was conditioned to always make sure he was happy, and I had so many panic attacks and anxiety when I was with him because I never wanted to upset him. We were writing most of his parodies and songs together, and then fighting when the high would start to fade. Everything was a bipolar mess. There was an incident where we met up for dinner, his classic line, "Wanna eat?" and he was on drugs, of course. I told him not to park in the 30-minute parking spot. He was immune to all rules in his mind. I'm a god. So he left it. Our conversation at dinner turned toxic. He said some girl was aborting his baby. I said years ago I had a miscarriage but would have had it. This caused him to get angry that I would have kept the child. He called me stupid, among other things. FYI, to this day he still calls me a... He used that term all the time and calls me names even when he is being nice. So I am upset and trying to stand up for myself, but only making it worse. I'm sure I cried at some point. I was always crying. We leave the restaurant and lo and behold, his Range Rover got towed. He is yelling and mad. We got a Uber taxi and go back to his place. By this time I am absolutely terrified and just trying to not make him more upset. He started punching things in the kitchen. He kicks his stove and I get out of the way as he punches the pantry door. It has a big crack in it. He later covered it with a Chinese New Year calendar and made jokes on vlogs saying, "How did this get here?" I'm crying and he's blaming me for stuff, and then I go and sit down on the beanbag chair he has in his living room. He starts screaming at me to get the beep out of his house. I'm bawling and crying and asking him why he is doing this to me, and he is screaming at the top of his lungs that he hates me and to get the beep out of his house and that he'll call the cops. He grabs his phone and saying he's calling the cops, and I'm just crying and crying. He screams and asks me, "Did you hear what I said, you stupid beeping dumb blonde?" He would always tell me he hated dumb blonde hair. And so I stand up to leave. I'm hysterical and get in my car, and I speed off to drive away. And he jumps out in front of my car, immediately saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, come here, come here, come here. I'm crying and I stop the car and he pulls me out into his house. I'm nothing but a hyperventilating crying mess, and I'm having a panic attack and shaking when he starts taking off my pants and saying, shh. He sets me down on the end of the bed and starts having sex with me. The entire time I'm crying and mumbling for him to stop, but he keeps saying shh. After he's finished, he pulls my pants back on, and I turn to my side and keep crying. I honestly don't remember if he cuddled me afterwards. Maybe he did. Once again, I was psychologically damaged and stuck around. I even dyed my hair brunette to please him. We spent Valentine's together. At this point, I knew I had to find a way to get over him. I just didn't know how. He was turned on every time I cried, and he was always mean and insulting to me. Friends tried to intervene, and I actually lost a few because I kept going back to him, and they thought I was weak and an idiot. I was. I finally mustered the strength and told him we should just be friends. February 26th, 2013. I came over to help him with something. I'm not sure what. My friend Alyssa was having a party I wanted to go to, and he kept telling me not to leave. I told him I had to go. He was being flirty and cute. I was conditioned to enjoy the tension and game, but I told him I was going. He asked if I would take a shot with him. Just one before I left. Yeah, I know. I should not have even said yes and taken a shot before driving. I am aware, but you have to understand at this time drugs were running rampant in this house, and I was so exposed to drug and alcohol abuse that I was just used to it. I said okay and took a shot with him. Instantly I knew something was wrong. At first I thought it was shitty vodka. I even asked what vodka it was, since it was the worst taste I had ever had. Then I saw his face, and I realized I knew what the bitter taste was. I asked him if he had slipped something in my drink. Insert cute grin with Griffin voice denying it. I asked a bunch of times and he denied. But I already knew the answer. I also knew that the people who die from MDMA/Molly have always been mixing it with alcohol. That both of those together are a deadly mix. That Toby is a drug addict, and that the amount of drugs he put in my drink are far more than I will ever be capable of handling. I start crying and telling him he's going to kill me. Why would he try to hurt me? That he is selfish and that I am going to die because of him. This somehow gives him a moment of clarity, or maybe it was just the drugs taking effect, but he admits to putting it in my drink. He tells me it was just a little bit, and it must have still been on the glass from when he used it. Then he admits fully to doing it. He starts crying as well and admitting he is a sex addict and drug addict and needs to get help. I am so beeped up at this point that I honestly don't remember what happened. Did we have sex? Did we only talk? I'm not sure. All I know is at some point he is passed out cuddling me on his beanbag chair, and I'm just staring straight ahead, wide awake with anxiety. I literally feel like I am being held hostage and kidnapped. I don't know this man. I want to escape, but I am so beeped up that I can't leave. Once I feel like I can maneuver a car the next afternoon, I drive home. I really shouldn't have drove, but I needed to escape him. I come home and my roommates are in the kitchen. They would be so mad if they knew I was still talking to Toby after the blatant rape, so I tell them that someone at a bar drugged me. They tell me to go to the hospital, and I say I just want to lay down. I go in my bed and just start sobbing. I was beeped up on this drug for 3 days. I regret never going to the hospital. I regret never going to the cops for what he did. I honestly thought about his career ruined, and I didn't want to hurt him because I loved him. How messed up is that? He had just tried to kill me. I knew I was too weak to go to the hospital, but I made sure to text him what he did so I would have evidence. So I would at least have a text proof that he drugged me, so he couldn't turn around and deny like he always did. Like he denies ever dating me now. What's messed up is this text he gave me before I texted the proof. 'Twas fun. Yeah, fun. I wish I could say I stopped talking to him after that, but we all know that's not true. He said he would change his ways, and I took him back again. March 2, 2013. I go in his bathroom and see a black thong and condom in his trash can. He's in the other room gaming, so I walk in there and grab him by the arm, and he's shocked. But I take him to the bathroom where I have put the items on the floor and push his face down towards it. His response? What? What? Yeah, what, so? And I'm livid. I say, who the beep is she? He tells me, it doesn't matter, you'll never meet her. I really wanted to destroy and break everything in his house on the way out, but I just grab my stuff and go. Done. Except not, because I'm an idiot and I stay friends. The last time I ever have sex with him is Memorial Day of 2013. This isn't by choice, of course. This is a violent hate beep after he thinks I am flirting with Max Landis at his Toby's BBQ party. Then of course I find out he was hooking up with another girl from the same party who was also a friend. The list goes on and on. Mid to late 2013, he finally has a relationship with someone else. By this time, they are known as mains in my circle of friends that know the drill. So luckily, I can say I never slept with him after that. But things still were messed up because he would always try to use me to masturbate. Either do it in front of me or try to grab my hand to do it for him. It's disgusting and I'm embarrassed, but it's the truth, so whatever. I became just a friend, and I really thought things were looking up. We started doing songs together even though I was helping him write them throughout this whole time. But now I was included and he was actually letting people know we were friends. Yay. Gag. I won't let into the lack of payment for anything I did, because that's a separate issue. But I knew I was being used. I was just so happy to be included. Yay. Gag. He always strung me along and would wave that carrot of songs or gaming to get me to come back. 2014, he tells me we will perform Depressing Song at Playlist. I'm super happy because we wrote it together and it was our Look How Magic We Are Together song. Once it gets close to playlist time, he starts getting wishy-washy like he always does. I ask him if we really are going to play the song because he never tells me a straight answer and he starts telling me he only has passes for Seth and Gabe and he doesn't know. Then tells me he will only be doing stand-up. This is after I already have my flight and hotel. So now he all of a sudden doesn't have a pass for me that he said he would have. So I decide to go anyways. My amazing friend gets me into playlist and I have a really good time even though I know the drill of it. Toby sees me there. He will ignore me and I have to lie to fans and play along that he's just so awesome. He asks what I'm doing and I text him that I'm hanging out with these other YouTubers and he gets mad and jealous because I shortened their channel name and accuses me of acting too cool. I say they're my friends and that's just how I call them. He then texts a mutual friend and says something along the lines of, April is on her high horse and I'm about to put her down. The day of his performance, I tell another mutual friend that I just know he's going to play our song. She assures me he wouldn't do that. I have Toby energy and we are super connected. I feel it. I know he is, and he does. I'm going to admit to the internets that I almost committed suicide. I was in the worst pain I have ever felt in my life. Worse than the cheating, the lying, the physical and mental abuse. I'm not sure why, but to deny me the very thing I created, to perform my song when it was my dream to be up there, that was worse than death. I was on a high balcony of my hotel, and the opportunity presented itself. Luckily, I didn't go through with it. I vowed not to talk to him. He didn't get to use me in this new life. I spent all of 2014 getting constant texts from him, some spamming, blaming, and attacking me, some saying he wanted to say sorry. Towards August, I think, I started to respond. I've only seen him a few times since then. I saw him a few months ago in January at a friend's birthday, and though he was nice to me in person, he started flirting with my best friend, and then was trying to text her to entice her to hang out with him. When I texted him to stop because, hello, we're best friends forever, and she's gonna show me, the attacking verbal abuse was back again. He never changes. He's still abusing and damaging women. There are women with stories similar to mine. He's still playing his games of multiple girls at a time. Still asking hot chicks to game with him as a pickup line. I keep hoping maybe he has changed, and I tried not to give the gory details to the women he tricks and beeps over. But I see he hasn't. Two mains found out about each other just the other day. Why did I tell such extreme detail of the worst parts of my life and about him? Because last night I was working and went to Toys R Us and saw a Tobuscus toy on the aisle. I started to cry and have a panic attack. I was supposed to be professional, but couldn't help it. I wanted to run up to the cashier and tell her that they were selling a drug addict rapist to children. They are selling a sexual predator and don't even know about it. But I know even if I did that, his toys would be out on the floor as soon as I left. Because people don't know. Parents don't know how terrible and toxic he is. How he hurts and destroys the best part of you. All they know is his funny voices and his characters. The back of the package called him a hero. I'm sorry, but a hero doesn't disrespect, abuse, rape, and drug women. He is not a hero. He is not a role model. He is a sick, sick man. The post was made on April 8th, 2016, with thousands of likes.
Around April 2016, Keemstar had uploaded a video which is now to date deleted, but at the time he uploaded a video of an alleged victim from Tobuscus titled Toby Turner Rape Allegations. This video Keemstar had uploaded had actually been criticised by a fellow commentary channel, Pyrocynical.
Now, in the extremely small chance that this is all faked and this is some huge staged Tumblr post and attempt to incriminate Toby, then obviously Keemstar Keemstar isn't going to look that great because he's basically hate trained on another channel. Obviously not intentionally, he remained neutral in the video, but Toby's channel has a lot of hate on it, by the way. Literally, the past few videos on all of his channels have absolutely been bombed in dislikes. And that's one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video, because these are just allegations. There's no concrete evidence, and Toby's channels are really suffering because of it. His entire YouTube career is basically at stake now because of allegations.
And Pyro had given Keemstar fairly some good advice on what he should do about the situation and how he should have dealt with it a bit better. And obviously Keemstar had replied respectfully.
Is this fucking furry. This fucking furry that goes to furry conventions to get fucked in the ass by a 40-year-old fucking giraffe man.
Oh, Keemstar, just please never change. I actually love this man so much. Before Keem's video came out on Toby, another girl had come out with a video called My Ex Was Accused of Rape by a YouTuber called Jacqueline. And this video was nothing that I thought it would be. It wasn't so much her saying how he had raped her and sexually assaulted her. No. This video was more of her being shocked that he would do such a thing since he was so respectful of her wishes.
Situation, and it happened a couple of times where I was mad at him for some reason, where I was not feeling totally well, or something happened, you know, that I just was not into it, and he was trying to come on to me, and I was just not about it, and like, he doesn't like that. Like, he wants to feel like what he's doing is awesome, and he likes feedback, and you know, if you're acting like you don't like it, or something is wrong, like, he takes it as like a personal thing, like, oh, what, you don't want me? Like, I'm not good enough? Like, so, you know, it turned him off, is what I'm trying to say. In the few times that happened with me and him, it turned him off, and he wasn't interested in sex anymore, because I didn't seem like I was like all about him. You know, I wasn't really into it, and he didn't like that. He wants me to be, you know, he wants whoever. That's my experience, at least. I don't know how it is for everyone, but for me, that was just a no-go.
And 3 days after this video dropped, another YouTuber by the name of Tara Broccoli came out with a video of the same nature as the first one. It wasn't a video saying how Toby was abusive, this was a video saying how she had been shocked how Toby would do such a thing.
And this whole time he seemed very insecure about everything. He always needed people telling him he's attractive, people telling him that his content is good, people telling him that it's funny. I remember he would record videos and then come and ask me if it was funny and then get like, oh my god, no, I should redo it was really bad. And it was just like, he was definitely very damaged, and I knew that coming into it, but I thought that I could give him kind of a foundation to indulge the things that he wanted to indulge, like the sex and I guess the drugs if he wanted to, while also having someone he can turn to that he can actually be honest with. And as far as being sexually abusive, I remember one time that I asked him to choke me and he felt really bad about it and only did it for like 2 seconds very lightly. I can't imagine him being more rough than I would want. And yeah, I like rough sex, but that's just not the relationship that I had with him. I had no problems with that. And as far as verbal abuse, I can't even imagine that, really. He said nothing to me but that I'm perfect, I'm amazing, I'm gorgeous, I'm awesome. There was never any talking down to me or anything like that. Again, not saying that these things didn't happen, I just feel like there's different contexts to different things, and you can't just immediately paint someone as a villain, especially just because you heard some shit on the internet.
She does, however, mention how he would get her to take Molly, and how he would take it himself before making gameplay videos, and how she would lie naked on his floor while he does videos. But going back to the man himself, Toby had actually responded to these allegations with a video himself, but I was unable to find the original video and only a re-upload. This might have been because he might have thought that the response didn't make him look innocent enough, or that it seemed a bit rushed, because this was a classic YouTuber response video to drama, even with the dramatic sigh at the beginning.
A person I dated a few years ago has just made some extremely serious false accusations about me. And I want to be crystal clear. I've never done anything without her consent. I've never tried to trick her into anything. I read her Tumblr post and I was shocked and I was hurt. These allegations are absolutely false. I just wanted to address it. That's all.
Now, another reason to why people thought Toby was guilty, such as people like Keemstar, was because of a tweet he made back in 2014, asking if anyone was good with computers, and was basically asking for a hacker. And one of his fans responded to the tweet with this, saying how they are pretty good with hacking. This tweet is now deleted, but the person that made the tweet was followed by Toby himself, and Toby had been asking if he could wipe some information for him.
What exactly are in these DMs? Well, it started in August when Jack responded to Toby by saying this: "Wow, thank you so much for following me. What will I be doing?" Now, Toby Turner doesn't respond to that DM at all until November of 2014. Toby responds, "Okay, need your help now. Reply when you can. This bitch has something on me. Can you help me get rid of it?" Jack responds by, what do you mean? What do you want me to do? Toby responds with, "Just take her offline for a bit until my legal team can sort her out. She has some proof of something I did." Jack responds, "What sort of proof? If I'm going to be working like this, I need to know it all." Toby responds, "She has a video and photos of me at a party. Just I gave this girl something and she was out of hand. We were involved with each other. Just do it now." "Okay, I'll keep her off for a day or two, but I better get paid." Toby responds, "Yes, whatever, just do it. These photos cannot get out there. Did you do it yet?" And then Jack responded, "No, I can't do this. Sorry. Get someone else to."
Now, after seeing the clip I just showed you may be thinking to yourself, these DMs must be fake. Well, the hacker had actually showed on a video that this was Tobuscus' Twitter, and he had actually had access to his DMs because he had been followed by Tobuscus. Now, previously I mentioned that one of the girls that had come out about Toby, saying how she couldn't believe the allegations and how it was so out of character of him to do these things, her husband had made a tweet asking Toby to stop emailing her because she had blocked her on Message and Twitter. He responded publicly on Twitter claiming that he did not know that she was married, and a fan responded saying, "Did you send the emails, Toby?" And then Toby responded by saying to the person that I was in love with at the time, "Yes." Well, this story isn't as sweet as I just made it out to be, since Jacqueline had made a video not long after these tweets, and in this video she speaks about how Toby had not been leaving her alone and how she had to block him.
My ex, Toby, is not respecting my request to be left alone. And it's something that got really bad a couple of months ago and is now getting bad again. It seems like every time he thinks I'm involved with someone, it gets worse. Like one time he showed up at my place while I had a roommate and got into the back and left a note on my car. I don't know how he got in because it was a gated thing. He would bring me flowers while I was there with someone else. It was very awkward. And now, you know, he won't stop sending me emails. And the reason why it's emails is because I have him blocked on text messages, on Twitter, on all social media, because he gets very angry with me for not wanting to see him. Even a couple of months ago, like a month ago I think it was, he posted a video on his channel called Too Late where he laughed about the fact that he was sending me unwanted emails.
You know, I haven't been, you know, contacting my ex or anything, you know, which is good. I just send her stuff that makes me think of her, which doesn't count, but it's cool because she did respond and she was like, "Please stop sending me stuff." So it's a good sign.
Like, it's not funny. It's not funny. It is a problem, and it's stressing me out. And now that I am clearly in another relationship, he's not respecting that. I'm not gonna post the emails that he sent to me in this video because I'm not Onision and I respect people's privacy, but I will show that I responded several times asking to be left alone. And this was done in private. This was not a public thing. And now it is, because I went into my email the other day looking for photos from Richie, and right above that email was one from Toby, asking to get back together and all these crazy things, and Richie saw it. And obviously it bothered him, so he took it upon himself to tweet Toby, and I know a lot of people were mad at this, and this is partially why I want to make this video, because so many people were mad at this, saying that it should have been handled privately, but like I said, I have been trying to handle this privately for quite some time.
These allegations on Toby don't look the best, especially when there is actual proof of him emailing her to get her attention, especially when she gave several signals that she didn't want to be in contact with him and how she was very uncomfortable with the way he was interacting with her. And the fact that she even brings up that he was making videos laughing about the situation just shows how he can deal with some of these dodgy situations. From what I can see, he's obviously not right in the head and obviously needs some sort of medical attention. Keemstar had pointed out how Toby was obviously mentally ill, but went about it in a bit of a douche, funny / edgy way.
Oh my god, Toby Turner. I don't even know what to say, bro. Like, bro, that's bad. That's really bad. Toby, I think me and you need to have a talk. We need to have a talk. Sit down, Mr. Turner. Sit down. Look, Toby, I don't know what the medical name for this is, but you're fucking crazy. You're like insane. So many people in your personal life have come forward with really creepy stories about you. And if what they're saying is true, you're kind of fucked up. But Toby, that's probably what makes you a good entertainer, because really good entertainers all seem to be fucked up. I know I am, but not in the rapey stalker.
Keemstar could have obviously dealt with the situation a lot better since, you know, it's a serious fresh topic at the time and he's making jokes like this. Now obviously being in Toby's position, he isn't going to like Keemstar very much. And everything that was going on, Toby had actually mentioned this on his live stream when someone asked him about Keemstar.
I don't think my channel got murdered by Keemstar. Just, you know, I was just, for a long time I was just being, I mean, yeah, I think he's a horrible person, but I mean, it's also, I think anybody that's doing any of this drama, like if their channel's focused on drama, any of those people, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's all, I mean, all Philip DeFranco stuff is all that stuff, and like, you know, if they're not gonna get the news from somewhere, you know, they're gonna get it from somewhere. So it's like, I get it. I get why you would do that, you know, as long as you're like tasteful about it. But I'm just saying, like, he does news anyway, so news is one of those things. News can be very interesting, but it's just the easy news to cover, you know, and it's smart. It's to cover the stuff that people want to watch, and that's the stuff that I hate. You know, I hate it. It's an easy way to build up support from an army of idiots. I agree.
After the drama in 2016, people started to forget about the situation and also forget about the channel, because the channel after that was stagnating in views and was doing nowhere near as good as it used to be. On April 2nd, 2020, Toby uploaded a video titled "So I Got This Email from YouTube." This was a video of him pranking his audience in a way of him pretending that the platform is going to listen to creators and have better connections, and more humans will be responding to bad situations and not copy-pasting bots. For me, this was clear that this was a goodbye to the channel, since he has been over a year since he has made a video, and he made it pretty clear in the outro this was some sort of conclusion and the end of a chapter in his life. He still posts on his second channel to this day and is still not getting many views, but you know what, he's still active and is keeping some sort of connection with the fans that he still has. For me, I wish the best for Toby, since I will never know if the allegations were 100% true. Whilst it is true that Toby was clearly not right mentally during most of these relationships, but he also didn't take care of himself and was too insecure of his well-being, such as his videos and his appearance. But thank you all for the memories, Toby. Also, how does Keem keep surviving everything? Huh, that would make a good video.